a blessed and a prosperous day. I'm here with Falcons Therapy. Come on in, come on in. Let's get this prayer started and let's get this episode going. We got a lot to talk about. Lord, we thank you for just helping us to see this day. We thank you because you are great. You are such a good God. And we're just so thankful for all that you do for us each and every day. Ask that you would help us to be mindful of all the things that you're doing for us. Help us to be mindful of those that are in need, those that desire to hear your message and your word spread, that we take the time to encourage others. We thank you for allowing us this opportunity to have this platform and to talk about Atlanta Falcons. Talk about our Falcons and just take a light moment throughout the day to have some fun, put a smile on someone's face, and encourage somebody. So we give you all glory and honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. What's up, y'all? No, it's not Victory Monday. And we're going to talk about that. But you know what? We are happy that we're here. One moment. But we are encouraged, okay? We are encouraged. So it's not a empty glass. It's definitely a glass half full over here. I'm always trying to be optimistic. Um, Always trying to see things on the bright side, and I believe that there is hope, and there are some good things that came out of yesterday's game. So real quick, if this is your first time viewing this channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. You hit that subscribe button, you are going to be entered to win a free NFL jersey of your choice. Yes, you heard me right. It's not going to cost you anything. You're not going to have to pay shipping, handling, a subscription. It's just out of the goodness of my heart saying thank you, and I appreciate you for coming through and supporting your boy. So all it takes is about 2 seconds to subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for all the love that you guys have been showing over the past 3-4 weeks. I really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Falcons versus Chiefs last night, Sunday night football. At home, Mercedes-Benz, and I had my keys to victory on Friday. I believe they were start fast. I believe the second one was not to win the turnover battle, right? Can't turn the ball over. And then I believe the third one was to unleash Kirk Cousins, okay? Kirk Cousins has to have a big game. He needs to throw for at least 3 touchdowns. And I think we did 2 of those pretty well. We started fast last night. Got off to a 7-0 lead and even stopped the Chiefs on defense. Got the ball back. We did. I think we ended up tied on the turnover battle. I think it was 1-1. Kirk Cousins did fumble the ball, but then Bijan kicked it out of bounds. But Cousins threw an interception, and then Justin Simmons intercepted Patrick Mahomes for his 6th time in his career, which is pretty awesome. And then ultimately, yeah, Kirk Cousins just was unable to get comfortable in that pocket throughout the second half. And it was a tough one. It was a tough one to watch in the second half. But we had our chances. We had our chances to win. And we're going to talk about what went wrong. But before we do that, I'm going to recap Coach Raheem Morris's press conference today. Coach Raheem Morris, his Monday press conference. Um, he was talking about. He got asked about the play in the end zone. You know the play I'm talking about. Kyle Pitts goes up for a pass, and his defender just face guards him, and bear hugs him while he's trying to catch the ball. Defender never looks for the ball. He has his arms draped around Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts tries to reach down and catch the ball in front of the defender, and there was no pass interference called. This was a pivotal play in the game, but ultimately the referee didn't throw the flag, so we had to keep playing. This is a play that was talked about quite a bit after the game on social media and on television, and it's just unfortunate. I'm a type of guy, I'm not making excuses. You know what I'm saying? Should the flag have been called? You know, probably. But we still had a chance to win that game. We had a chance to win that game. Can't go out of that game saying that Kansas City got all the calls, because Falcons got some calls too that were questionable. And ultimately, you had your chances. You have to take advantage of the chances you have. That's what it boils down to. So Coach Raheem did not want to, he didn't want to expound, but he did say that they were sending that play to the league and that the league will review it. And and what's up? We got Christy in the building. She says, Motivational Monday. That's right. I got my motivational glasses on. Beat the AINTS. It's AINTS week. You know what that means. Said that they're going to send that play to the league, and they want to know why that wasn't a pass interference, and maybe the league can get some more clarity on that. So they can be aware of what pass interference is or isn't. But I'm pretty sure that we all know that that was a missed call. But woulda, coulda, shouldas. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We had a chance to win, and we should have won the game. But it is what it is. Kansas City, that defense stepped up at the end, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, let's keep going. When asked about the injuries of Caleb McGarry and Drew Dahlman, now this was the turning point in the game to me. When Drew Dahlman went down, to me, that was the biggest moment in the game. Caleb McGarry had already went down. Storm Norton came in, and he got a penalty right away. But then he settled in. And he was playing all right. And we were still kind of running the ball, doing our thing on offense, and then Drew Dahlman went down. And after Drew Dahlman went down, I noticed the drop-off in talent, okay? Kirk Cousins didn't want to throw him under the bus. Coach Raheem Morris didn't want to throw him under the bus. I'm not throwing Ryan Newsel under the bus saying he's a bum or anything like that. But he's a backup lineman for a reason, okay? Drew Dahlman, let me say this, man. Not to say that he gets roasted in Falcon circles, but he doesn't really get talked about like the good centers in the league. And then I know for sure, Caleb McGarry, you've been getting roasted ever since TJ Watt took you behind the woodshed and spanked you. I apologize to Caleb McGarry. And if I've ever slandered Drew Dahlman, I apologize to you too. Because you gentlemen, we need you. We need you. Caleb McGarry, we said we couldn't win with you week 1 because you were so bad. And now week 3, I'm saying we can't win without you. It's going to be really hard to win with 2 backup linemen in the game. The protection for Kirk Cousins completely fell apart once Drew Dahlman came out of that game. The protection was horrible in the second half. Kirk Cousins, I think they say he took 10 hits last night. He took one hit where he didn't even feel the guy coming. And I mean, I didn't even think he was going to get up, man. That guy hit him so hard in his back. I mean, that's just, I just hate to see quarterbacks get hit like that, especially our quarterback. And Kirk Cousins, I got to say, man, you a tough son of a gun. We got to do better. We got to do better protecting Kirk Cousins. He's not going to last if he's getting hit 10 times a game. And we let free rushers, linebackers, or defensive end just tee off on him like that. So shout out to Kirk Cousins, man, for your toughness. Christy, got Christy saying the league is aware it's the Chiefs. We only get that favor from God. And then we got that boy Jackson in here. What's going on, that boy Jackson? So yeah, last night the game definitely changed after those linemen went out. That's what I noticed. I noticed a big shift, pun intended, in the protection. Right, Kirk Cousins just didn't have the same time that he had earlier on in the game. We went right down the field. Drive number one was a thing of beauty. We had a chance to make some plays after that, but the drives kept getting stalled. But then we come back down in the second quarter, score again, and you were feeling good about yourself until Drew Dahlman went out. So then let's move on. Let's move on now. Coach Raheem Morris was asked what happened on the 4th and 1 play. Was it 4th and 1 or 4th and inches? I think it was 4th and inches. I don't even think it was a full yard. But I say it was the last 2 play calls, okay? It wasn't just the 4th down play call. It was the 3rd down play call. I believe it showed the inexperience of our coaching staff right now. And this is something that they're just going to have to work on. They're just going to have to take their lumps. Experience is going to come with time. 3rd down, well, with 2nd down, Coach Raheem Morris immediately calls timeout, right? I didn't think we needed a timeout right there. We were close. We were in the red zone. We were trying to run down the clock so Patrick Mahomes couldn't get the ball back. And I thought, why waste a timeout right there? Make them use their timeouts because they're going to be worried about the clock. Now we're inside the 20, right? But he rushes and calls a timeout. And then right after that, he calls a running play. Because you got to call a running play because now you stop the clock. See what I'm saying? Thought it was a big mistake to use that first timeout by Raheem Morris. It almost makes you have to call a run or a safe pass to make sure you don't stop the clock again. Because you want the Chiefs to use their timeouts. Then Andy Reid calls timeout after the run up the middle. Tyler Algier, it's 3rd and short. Then Raheem Morris, he runs over to the ref and calls another timeout. But Andy Reid called his timeout first. So they took the Chiefs timeout instead of taking the Falcons timeout. I don't know what Raheem Morris was thinking. No, we're not trying to stop the clock. We're trying to keep the clock running. You don't want Patrick Mahomes with 3 timeouts and 70 yards to go. And 30, 40 seconds on the clock. I don't want him to get the ball at all. Stop calling timeouts, Coach Raheem Morris. So I think that was just something where he kind of panicked in the moment. Maybe he wasn't thinking, or maybe his thinking was different than my thinking. I don't know what y'all say, but I say don't call a timeout right there. Make the Chiefs use their timeouts. Yes, you want to get a good play, but we didn't even get a good play. After those timeouts, we didn't even get a good play. So what's the point? Absolutely. Christy says the 3rd down and 4th down calls were unbelievable. They were basic. They were, to me, they were lazy. They didn't show any type of planning or short yardage situation that you would normally see from a good team. right? I'm thinking the same thing as Christy. Third and fourth down, the game is on the line. The game is on the line. If we don't make this, we don't get the ball back because we already used the timeout. And that's another reason why you don't use your timeout. Just in case you don't make it, you still have 3 timeouts. You can get 3 stops and get the ball back. But we couldn't do that because we already used one, right? Yeah. And I agree. I don't think we ended that second quarter well this time around. I attribute some of that to the loss in the linemen. Um, but I just don't think we finished either half well. So I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. Um, I don't think we finished either half well. Um, the defense kept us in this game. The defense kept us in this game. Honestly, I think Patrick Mahomes was a little off his game. He missed some throws that he normally makes, but the defense made some plays. When we needed to stop, Jesse Bates, huge pass breakup on Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey he don't really drop passes, but he broke up that pass. He punched that ball out. That was a great play by Jesse Bates. Earlier in the game, Justin Simmons in the red zone, he picks off Patrick Mahomes. He baited him. He made him think. No, was it Noah Gray? Number 83 was wide open in the corner. He sprints all the way across. Made it look like he was playing the other side of the field and sprint across and baited Patrick Mahomes into that throw. Great play by Justin Simmons. So our defense kept us in this game. Despite all the protection issues, um, despite us kind of misfiring on a couple plays, we were right there to take this one. We were down 5 with the ball with a chance to win in the red zone. First play, we call halfback dive. That's third down. We call a halfback dive. Tyler Algier picks up maybe a couple inches, not too much, maybe a yard, but he pretty much got stuffed. And then Chiefs call timeout. We got 4th and inches. I'm thinking we're going play action. That's what I'm thinking. Because Kansas City is going to sell out. If they get this stop, the game's over. We're going to give a heavy look, and we're going play action. We might send Bijan one way and send Algier the other way, or we go just heavy package, extra linemen, 2 tight ends, Bijan with a fullback or Algier with a fullback, and we go man on man and see who's more physical. I think Tyler Algier is the more physical runner. I would prefer him in a short yardage package on a run over Bijan. That's just me. I prefer Algier. He tends to fall forward. He runs with that little extra nastiness and power that you need in 4th and short. You need a big nasty guy who's not going to be denied. And I'm not throwing any shade at Bijan, but Bijan, he kind of floats out there. You know what I'm saying? He's light on his feet. That's 2 times that Bijan Robinson been stopped in the last 2 weeks on 4th and short. So I definitely think short yardage, I'm not going to say it's not being addressed by our coaching staff, but it needs to be readdressed. And we need to get more creative. Yeah, he'll continue to be a target. And the thing is, they know we want to run the ball. So sometimes, they say sometimes you can outsmart yourself. You just do what's natural. They asked Coach Raheem Morris, what about the QB sneak? Said he didn't really feel comfortable with the QB sneak because of Kirk's, previous injuries and his lack of mobility. It's talked about the tush push possibility. He said all those things were discussed, but I just think that that formation we got in and the play itself was just a bad play. Um, you sweep the ball or you toss the ball 3 yards into the backfield when you need 6 inches going the other way. Why would you toss the ball backwards 2 or 3 feet, 2 or 3 yards when you're trying to go forwards for a couple inches? I just didn't understand that. A lot of things, just a lot of things that I have problems with that play call. Um, and then the play is going sideways, right? It's built to go sideways, and for Bijan to have to cut it up and find the gap. I mean, if you are going to run a play where you start in the backfield, have it going straight forward. Let the guy get some momentum going forward so he can run over somebody or he can fall forward. Um, yeah, I understand that. I get it. But aren't but you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. It wasn't a quick hitting play. It was a slow forming play. Arnold says the defense collapses up the middle. That's the idea. Yeah, but we don't have our starting center. Yeah, we don't have our starting center. So if we had a Drew Dahlman, I could understand where you could see that working, but it was being shown the whole fourth quarter that we had a tough time running the ball. So the fact that you call something that you have to pitch behind the line of scrimmage, 3 or 4 yards, I just didn't think that was a smart play call at that time. What do y'all think about a play action right there? What's up? We got Mateo Jr. Please don't spam the chat. How you doing? I see you. I see you, Mateo Jr. Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. Just remember, if this is your first time viewing my content, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and that like and that notification bell so you can get my videos and catch me streaming as soon as I pop up. Also, you will be entered for a chance to win a free NFL jersey of your choice. Once I hit 500 subscribers, all you have to do is press that subscribe button to be entered in and be here the day of the giveaway. All right. So now that I got that away, I know he was. I know he's spamming. I hope he stops. But yeah, the game. I think the game was well played for the most part. I think that both teams had some ups and downs. Both sides had some calls go their way. In the end, I'm encouraged because it's the Kansas City Chiefs. We didn't lose to a scrub team. We didn't lose to a team, that can barely move the ball. We didn't lose to, just any old body. We lost to the back-to-back champs. And we hung in there. And we were right there at the end. So it's a bit of a moral victory for me. I think we can build on that. I think we gained some valuable experience. I think the coaching staff gained some valuable experience. Short yardage calls. No, I agree with you absolutely. It's like the Eagles, right? It's like the Eagles last week. If Saquon Barkley catches that ball, Sirianni looks like a genius, right? He dropped the ball. And now people are questioning whether he should be the coach. I agree with you 100%, Arnold. But I just think the defense is selling out in that point, and you could draw up something for an easy catch. Just an easy. All you need is an inch, couple inches, So yeah, that's my philosophy. Either you go heavy and you run it straight up the middle, man on man, mano y mano, 4th and inches. You go out big. Or you go in the Wildcat or something like that with the Tyler Algier, let him get ahead of steam. I don't think they're stopping a Tyler Algier. on 4th and inches. If he gets ahead of steam and Wildcat, I just don't think so. Or you play action, you know, get that, you extend that ball out there. Kirk Cousins is one of the best play action quarterbacks in the league. Extend that ball out there, pull it back. You should have a wide open player. But it's a lesson learned. Lesson learned. Let me turn this sound off. I think that there we go. Yeah, anything but the pitch, right? That's all I'm good with. Anything but the pitch. I'm good with that. Arnold said anything but the pitch, man. Christy said it was a good game until the end of the third quarter. I think the fourth quarter was good too. I don't really have many problems. I think the defense stepped up in the fourth quarter. Koo hits a big field goal in the fourth quarter, right? I think the defense made that game watchable, even when the offense was struggling. But we definitely got to get some answers surrounding Caleb McGarry and Drew Dahlman. I guess that's going to come later on in the week, probably Wednesday. We'll see what the extent of the injuries are and how long those guys should be out. Oh, you heard Kirk was the one who changed the play. That's interesting. Wonder what he saw. Wonder what he was thinking and wonder what he saw. Wow. Yeah, Arnold said, I heard Kirk was the one who changed the play. Christy says, Koo was clutch. The defense stayed on the field way too long. Yeah, I've been noticing that theme with our defense. They haven't been giving up a whole lot of points, but they give up some long drives. They've been giving up some long drives this season. And I'm just hoping that they don't get worn out by the end of the season. But they have also been making timely plays. They've been making timely plays when they have to be made. I would just like our defense to get some more 3-and-outs. I would like to see some more 3-and-outs, get our offense the ball back so, we can kind of stay in a rhythm. Because I think Kirk Cousins was definitely in a rhythm at the beginning of this game. You could see it. He was sharp. He was on point. He was hitting Mooney. He was hitting London. And then he had the nice pass to Kyle Pitts. Welcome to 2024, Kyle Pitts. He finally made a play. He make that. That play, I thought that was going to be a touchdown. That might have won me my fantasy matchup if Kyle Pitts scores that touchdown. But yeah, he drugged that defender for another 10 yards after contact. Couldn't quite make it to the end zone, but then Bijan runs it in. But that was great to see a Kyle Pitts highlight. I don't think we've seen anything like that for Kyle Pitts in a couple years. Since his rookie season, probably. Christy says, I wonder who could possibly be rotated from the practice squad. You mean for the O-line or for the defense? And then Christy says, but the long time on the field for the defense leaves them tired by the fourth quarter in the last two games. I agree, but this past game, they made the play. Jesse Bates, he made the play at the end of the game to get the ball back to the offense. He made the play. Even being on the field forever, he still made the play. But I think it comes down to we're not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We're not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. The couple times that we did, you saw Mahomes was really uncomfortable, and he was throwing the ball away. He was throwing the ball away. He did not want to take those hits. So we got to find ways to generate more pressure. Absolutely. Especially going into the AINTS game, AINTS week. Derek Carr will gift wrap you an interception when you get pressure. He'll gift wrap it. He will hand you the ball. He's known for it in his career. You get pressure on Derek Carr, he's going to toss it up for grabs. So that's going to be a key this week. And I think every week you try to affect the quarterback, but especially against Derek Carr, he kind of panics under pressure. You can't let him sit back there and have a lot of time. He's one of those quarterbacks that needs that time, and he can thrive when he does. As you saw in the first two games, I mean, he was picking those teams apart. But the Saints lose yesterday. The Bucs lose yesterday. Carolina gets their first win behind 300-yard game and a 3-touchdown game from Andy Dalton after they benched Bryce Young. That was amazing to watch that. They beat the Raiders on the road. AINTS will be fast, dirty, and aggressive. All right, so that leads me into my next question. Coach Raheem Morris was asked after the last game against the Saints. After the last game against the Saints last year, will you use that for motivation this week? Do you know what he's talking about? Do you remember? Do you remember what happened? The last game against the Saints, Coach Arthur Smith's swan song. Do you remember what happened? I'm gonna wait. Christy says the only team in the division to win was the Panthers. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Everybody roasted them and talking about how bad they are, and then they just blow out the Raiders. I mean, blew them out. The game wasn't even close. All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about it. Last game. Saints versus Falcons. I think it was the last game of the season. If I'm not mistaken. It was the last game of the season. It was said Coach Arthur Smith was coaching for his job. I don't think he had a job after that. I think he was already fired. All those bad losses. But we'll just say he was coaching for his job just to humor ourselves. Falcons get off to a great start in that game, and then they just implode. The last game in January, yeah. The game's over. Saints are going to win the game. Only a few seconds left in the game. Instead of taking a knee, the Saints run the ball in with Jamal Williams to score another touchdown to increase the score. And some of the Falcons were pretty upset about that. After the game, famous Jameis, the crab burglar himself, says, oh, yeah, the coach wanted to kneel, but the players decided we're going to get Jamal Williams his bonus incentive money, so we changed the play and we ran the ball up the middle. It was a player's decision. Yeah. Christy said the last game in January, LOL, they broke down and gave up. The team gave up. Absolutely. That team was done with Arthur Smith. And I'm not going to, I've already had many things to say about that gentleman on my channel. But I can say this. This is facts. I ain't gonna say he's the reason why. But he is the offensive coordinator of a team that is 3-0. The Steelers are 3-0. 3-0. Justin Fields is his quarterback. Mike Tomlin knows how to coach, though. I give that credit to Mike Tomlin. He knows how to coach. Christy said, again, dirty, like the Monstars in Space Jam. Saints are a dirty team. They are a dirty team. I do not like them. I I was so glad the Eagles won yesterday. I was so glad. Like I'm almost ashamed how happy I was that the Saints lost yesterday because I the Saints fan talking crap to me on YouTube the other day. That was what's that on Saturday, I think. A YouTuber and I'm like, bro, y'all only won 2 games. What what's all the hype about? What's all the hype about, bro? You won 2 games. And I was telling them, yeah, Eagles gonna give y'all that work, so don't even be worried about it. You won't be undefeated no more. And I just didn't want to have to eat my words. I'm glad the Eagles took care of business, but yeah, the Eagles lost Devontae Smith. I don't know if he had a concussion or what, but he took a big hit in that game. Seemingly like his forward progress was already stopped, but the Saints just kept piling on him, and then a guy just came out of nowhere and just rocked him, knocked his helmet off. He was taken out of the game for the rest of the game. Already down AJ Brown, so they didn't have any of their 2 top receivers, but Dallas Goedert saves the day with almost 200 yards receiving, the tight end out of the game of his life. I think he ended up with 10 or 11 catches for 170 yards. That's just ridiculous, bro. Dallas Goedert, game for the ages. And then Saquon Barkley seals the deal. Saquon Barkley seals the deal. So, um, yeah, the Saints, they only had 6 points yesterday. They've been scoring heavy, 30, 40 points first 2 weeks, but they were held to 6 by the Eagles yesterday. So that's definitely encouraging. Go and look at that tape. Look what the Eagles did to them. And all I can say is, replicate it. They had 3 points for half the game, but then the Eagles were shut out too for half that game. So always gonna look for the dirty hits from the Saints. Always gonna look for what's that guy's name? Marshawn Lattimore to start a fight with the receivers. He wants to fight so bad. Why don't you get in celebrity boxing or something, bruh? Um, Always can count on Marshawn Lattimore to try to do something. They got the Honey Badger out there who's an agitator, but he's been playing good. I actually like how he plays. I hated that he went to the Saints because he was one of my favorite players. But once you go to the Saints, I can't cheer for you no more, bro. Saints content creators. That's what you're talking about. You said they will be coming for our key players that are threats. I have no doubt. Have no doubt about it. You know what they did in Bounty Gate? They probably still got bounties over there. Their content creators said that they were gonna run it up on the Eagles like they did. I know. They're like, y'all ain't like that. You're acting like your team is like that. Like you could just decide how many points you want to score every week. Y'all ain't like that. The Cowboys have no run defense. You guys ran the ball on them. I mean, as you should, right? As you should. Uh, and then you beat the Panthers that had Bryce Young, who was benched a game later. So you had 2 pretty much, I hate to say easy victories, but because every team in the NFL is a professional team, but you had 2 pretty easy games to start off the year. So I'm not a believer. They're gonna have to make us believe, and I don't want to eat those words. Make us believe. Right? They found out yesterday. I think they only had 6 points. Saints only had 6 yesterday. Held to 2 field goals, no touchdowns. Yeah, they found out yesterday. We got to win this game. We got to win this game. We got the Bucks the following week. I think we got a 3-game homestand, right? So we got all these games at home. Um, got to win the division games at home. Have to. Have to. Cannot drop these games at home. Got to win them. These are must wins. Um, I heard somebody saying, "Oh, if we go 2-3, yada yada yada." No, we can't go 2-3. Can't do it, man. Can't split these games. We need to win. We need to win all three of these. We win all three of these games. We are 3-2. No, 4-2. We are 4-2. We win all three of these games. We're 1-2 right now. Old Andy. Oh yeah, Andy Dalton was wheeling and dealing yesterday. That dude, I didn't know he had it in him like that. Not like that. He wasn't even playing like that when he was younger. So he probably said, "This is my opportunity. I've been waiting for it for a few years. Let me just let it rip." And he did his thing yesterday. Saints, Bucks, Panthers, back to back to back. Yeah, these are must wins. These are must wins for us. But I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by what I saw last night, despite the loss, and despite the injuries. Like I said, hopefully those guys can get healthy, and despite the play calling, because I think this team is getting better. I think this team is showing improvement every week, um, and I think we're trending in the right direction. Christie said we need these 3 wins for the divisional run. Absolutely. Get them now before they can figure us out. As teams play, they tend to get better or worse depending on team dynamics and injuries. Right. 2 guys went down last night. We don't know how many guys are going to go down, right? You gotta bank these wins while you're healthy. I agree, absolutely. Um, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm gonna give my prediction on the Saints. Uh, shoot, maybe early Friday morning. Maybe I'll wake up early Friday morning and do that episode. Because the plan is that I will start work on Friday, so I might have to do a before work episode. So, or maybe I'll do it on Thursday. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it on Thursday instead of Friday. But those are 3 must wins. You are absolutely correct. Um, I think that's all I got today, pretty much. Um, Coach Heem said he's going to keep us updated on the injury front. Um, I did watch a Kirk Cousins press conference a little briefly before I logged in. You know, I was a little late, had to eat, starving. I was starving, went walking, and I felt like I hadn't eaten nothing. Um, yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Beating the Aints. If we make the playoffs, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I would love for us to win that Monday night game against the Raiders. That's gonna be my first NFL game, my first Falcons game. So that's gonna be like really special for me. So if we can win that game, that's a week before Christmas. So yeah, that'll definitely be my Christmas present. Um, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, Kirk Cousins press conference, right? He really talked about just not being sharp. Talked about not being sharp. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because I believe he was sharp when he had the time. I think as that process needed to speed up and he felt more pressure, he wasn't as sharp as he had been in the past game. So yeah, once we rectify those issues with the protection, I think he'll be fine. Um, Christy says my family said that they are going to this next game in Atlanta and said that fans will second line in the bins like they did with the Excuse me. Second line. I know about the second line. When they play the music and they do the little dance. Yeah. At the funeral. Yeah. I know about it. My unfortunately, may he rest in peace. My brother-in-law. My brother-in-law passed away in New Orleans a few years back. So when I went out there for the services, I was completely blown away. Didn't know anything about a second line then. Um, but I go to the funeral and I'm thinking the funeral's over. First of all, it was a 2 day. It was a 2 day party. I mean, like a church, church version of a party. But they had a musical the night before that was about almost three and a half, almost 4 hours, and then they had the funeral services the next day. And when the services were over, I'm thinking we about to go to the car and go get the food, go to the spot to get some food. But then they was like, everybody just kept walking. I'm like, where are we going? And where are we going? And then I seen the pallbearers, you know what I'm saying, carrying the casket and stuff. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? And I had to record it, so I took my phone out. It's crazy. It is a sight to behold for all those that have never seen a second line celebration. Yeah, yes, for other celebrations too. Gotta celebrate that person that lived. It's a part of our African heritage. Celebrations happen after some burials. Absolutely. It was something to behold. It was a sight to behold. It was amazing seeing family, friends out there celebrating. Um, and it really like lifts your spirits too. You just came out of a very emotional service. And then almost 5 minutes later, you're out there dancing and having a good time and just marching in the street. Um, and you just shut down a couple blocks and march through the streets and celebrate your loved one. So yeah, it's pretty amazing tradition, uh, according to African heritage. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, uh, look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. But yeah, I've seen them before. Going to New Orleans, seen them happening. Other people were participating, but that was my first time being a part of one. So yeah, that was definitely something to behold. So yeah, we got the Saints this week. Um, be back Thursday for a little preview of that game. Falcons fall to the Chiefs. I believe it was 22-17. Falcons have their chances to win that game, but ultimately come up, pun intended, a bit short. Come up a bit short. But this Falcon fan is very encouraged by the process that these new look Falcons are going through. And I like that Coach Raheem Morris wasn't all doom and gloom this morning. I mean, he was smiling. He was having a good time. I like that because I believe your team picks up on that. Your team takes on the personality of your coach, right? And I'm not saying he's just out there smiling and giggling and laughing. I know he's serious and he's passionate about the game. But you got to move on. We're on to the Saints. No need to have a sour face and be stressed. You just got to move on and you got to learn from your mistakes. Got to learn from your mistakes because I do believe there were mistakes that were made in that game. And I hope that we learn them and don't repeat them again. So, oh my gosh. like I said, I try not to pile on that guy because I really did not like him, and I could go in. You can watch some of my old videos though. I mean, if you haven't, my videos from a year ago, especially towards the end of last season, I mean, I roasted this guy nearly every Sunday. 'Cause I just did not like it. I didn't like his body language. I didn't like his demeanor. I didn't like the way he talked. I didn't like the way he looked on the sideline. I didn't like the way he interacted or lack of interaction that he had with his players on the sideline. I mean, I didn't know the guy personally, but there were just so many things that bothered me about Arthur Smith. So many things. Um, and I'm just really glad that I feel like Coach Raheem Morris embodies the spirit of the team. I just felt like Arthur Smith just wasn't a good fit for the team, or I'm not an Atlanta native or anything like that, but I do feel like the city of Atlanta has personality. It got a swag, you know, it has a swag, and I just didn't see that in Arthur Smith. Didn't see the swag, that same confidence, the ability to go out there and lead other grown men to do great things. You know, I think he was an average coach, and it led to average records. And average is not good enough in this business. So, um, shout out to Arthur Blank for making the right call, and shout out to Arthur Blank for being inducted into the Ring of Honor last night. So last night was not Matt Ryan's induction. He will be inducted, I think, in a couple weeks. I think his is going to be in a couple weeks. So yeah, they each get their own. It makes more sense. We were talking about that last time. It makes more sense for each one of them to get their own night. That way they don't have to share the spotlight with each other. Um, yeah. So Matt Ryan will have his induction. I think they said on the broadcast last night a couple weeks. So maybe against Carolina or Tampa Bay. I'm not sure. But it should be one of those games. But yeah, congrats, Arthur Smith, for being inducted into the, what is it called? Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. Yeah, Ring of Honor. Falcons owner. Hopefully we can get you a Super Bowl. Big Arthur. Hope we can get you a Super Bowl, man. So we're going to get up out of here. I got to get some rest before class later. Got class maybe in about 5 hours or so. So let me lay down for a couple hours, recharge my batteries, and maybe we'll be back before Thursday. If not, I'll definitely be back Thursday with a preview of Saints versus Falcons. We got to win this game. That's all I got to say. So thank you, Christy, for coming through as always. Thank you for everybody who came through. Remember, if you are a first-time viewer, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get these uploads and can catch me streaming live anytime. Much love to you. Tell those that you love them while you can. Have a blessed and a prosperous rest of your motivational Monday. All right, peace, y'all. We out of here. Oh, yeah. These are the new glasses. Much better than my other cloudy ones. All right, peace, y'all. I'm out.